So a Wes Anderson style opening. Do we just have to like talk really fast and like kind of like monotone?
I love you, but you don't know what you're talking about. I laughed so hard at that part.
Yeah, it's the funny part.
I don't know. I don't know how we open Wes Anderson.
Some version of that.
Yeah, right. We can do better than that.
Nah, no bar, remember?
That's true. No bar.
Just needs to be 30 seconds of something. Welcome to Afterthoughts. This is a podcast where we rewatch movies. We talk about our first and second impressions of that movie and discuss a related topic. My name is Joshua Kazemi, and I'm here with my co-host, Coleman Taylor.
That's me.
There you go. Today, we're talking about Wes Anderson's 2012 film, Moonrise Kingdom.
Moonrise Kingdom. I don't know.
Majestic name.
I know. So majestic.
Moonrise Kingdom. It's great. So, before we dive in to first and second impressions, I almost forgot for like a millisecond. I don't know if you could hear that in the recording. But before we get into it, Coleman, why don't you take us through the plot of Moonrise Kingdom?
Absolutely. So, it opens with this girl at her home with her 3 little brothers and her family. And she looks through life in binoculars, and she catches her mom cheating on her dad with no. Does that happen later? Ooh, now this is awkward. I think she catches him. I'm pretty sure. No, that's not possible. Anyways,
I don't think so.
She looks through life with her binoculars. Scratch everything I said before that. And then we switch to a Boy Scout camp-ish, even though they're called khaki scouts.
Khaki Scouts.
Or something like that, yeah. And one of the boys is missing, and it turns out he's hiking to meet the girl who looks out her binoculars all the time. And they met like a year ago. Yes, a year ago at a play, and they've been pen pals ever since. Oh, but here's where it is. Man, I'm messing this all up. Before she leaves, the police officer on the island is out looking for the boy and stops at her house. And she spots her mom meet with him through her binoculars and finds out that she's cheating on her dad. And that's when we then find she leaves her house and meets the khaki scout boy in the wilderness. And they hike this old, I think, like Native American trail. I don't exactly know. Cherokee? No. Choctaw? I don't know. And they hike through it, and they go to this Moonrise place. I don't even know if that's what it's called.
No, it's called something else. They don't like it, so they changed the name to Moonrise Kingdom.
No, that's right. Yeah. See, look, you watched this movie better than I did. And they profess their love for each other, but then they get caught by everyone who's searching for them, and they're supposed to separate. And turns out the boy's an orphan, and they're so sad that they're separated. But then the girl sneaks out and tries to go save him, and they're just trying to find out a way for their love to prosper and to be together and just run away. And the plot goes from there. They keep trying to run away from everyone, and they get married too.
I feel like if you didn't like this movie, you would have told that plot summary differently. I feel like you like this movie based on how you describe the plot.
What is that supposed to mean?
I feel like when you don't like the plot, you're like, and then they do all this stupid stuff, and none of it matters. Not quite that harsh, but close.
Oh, and they do this stuff, and nothing matters, and
blah,
it's
blah, whatever.
That's how I'm gonna do that every time I don't like a movie for my second impression now. So there'll be no like mystery, no suspense. You'll just know up front. Just kidding. I won't do that.
Let's see. So I saw this in 2012, I believe, and I like Wes Anderson a lot. I want to preface with that. I really like him and his movies. I didn't love this movie.
I was about to say, I wonder where this is going.
Didn't love it. And I wouldn't say that it was bad or that I even disliked it. I just didn't love it. I didn't feel the same way I do about most of his other movies that I've seen. and I was trying to like rack my brain before I rewatched this week, and it felt like it was too Wes Anderson, if that makes any sense. Like all of his qualities minus like heart and soul.
Wow.
Almost like somebody was trying to make a Wes Anderson movie.
It's messed up.
like it was a greatest hits playbook, just like checking off a list of all the things that Wes Anderson does, but without the creativity.
It was a good movie. It just had no heart behind it. So messed up.
I didn't like it that much. Like the characters in his other movies feel like they're very like thoughtful and fleshed out, and these characters just seem like really callous and like monotone, and I just couldn't get behind it.
Wow.
And I only watched it the one time until this week, so that's where I'm at.
I saw it in theaters, and I loved it.
There you go.
I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I laughed super hard when Jason Schwartzman was there. I think that was my favorite scene of the movie.
Yeah,
first time
really
I saw
funny.
it. I loved Scoutmaster Ward, played by Edward Norton.
Of course.
I don't know. It was just like this nice little movie about two kids who like say they're in love with each other, and I don't know, and they're like super innocent compared to all the people around them who like are older and would tell them that they know better, but like their lives are all messed up. And they won't let these two kids who like just enjoy each other just like be. I liked it. It was interesting.
Those are good. Yeah, those are all great and valid points, and why I think the movie's not bad. I personally wasn't into it. But like all the stuff you just said, totally valid.
Yeah, It's because I don't think the movie doesn't have a heart. I don't think you have a heart.
Whatever.
I hate young love, and I hate everything this movie stands for. I hate innocence.
Bitter
Burn it
because
all.
I never got to be a Boy Scout, and I always wanted to be a Boy Scout.
I was an Indian guide.
There you go.
Never a khaki scout, though.
Is it a real thing? I feel like it isn't. Maybe it was in the 60s.
No, I don't think it's a real thing. I mean, it could be, but I don't think so.
If it wasn't real, it's a really funny name. Khaki Scout is really funny.
I know.
Oh man. Okay, so you loved the movie. Have you re-seen it? Or is this your first time rewatching it?
This is the first time rewatching it.
Why do you think you haven't re-seen it?
I felt like it was like just a one and done movie.
Okay.
And it still wasn't. I think when I had seen this, I still liked Fantastic Mr. Fox better.
Sure.
And it really is on another tier. I will agree that I still, even when I saw it, didn't think it was like same level as Fantastic Mr. Fox. Mm-hmm. I'd also seen Royal Tenenbaums. I'd seen that, and that one was never really my favorite.
Okay.
So, but this one was still like I loved it, but I could have watched Fantastic Mr. Fox over and over again. While this was like I loved it, but like that's it.
Yeah.
I never really had like this great desire to rewatch it.
Okay. What did you think? What did you anticipate rewatching it this week?
I really didn't know. I figured I'd just still enjoy it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I love Wes Anderson. I remember really enjoying it, walking out of the theater.
Mm-hmm. What
about you?
I really, really enjoyed Grand Budapest Hotel, and I'll save that discussion for the topic time. But I thought rewatching it this week that I would like it a lot better. Like, because the last Wes Anderson movie I saw I really, really enjoyed. So I thought maybe I'll go into it and really appreciate all those isms more. But yeah, that's what I thought. I thought I was going to like it a lot more.
Interesting. I like your thought process.
Should we dive into seconds?
Because I guess we will both get into that.
Uh-huh.
You can start.
Okay. So, about the same.
Yeah.
I feel about the same, except I feel like I have a better understanding of why I didn't like get into it.
All right.
There's a couple of things. I feel like this movie feels more stylized to me than his usual stuff, even though everything he does is very stylized. But I think the reason is because I don't feel immersed in the story. And I have a couple of different things that I feel like contribute to that for me. Like, for one, in this movie in particular, maybe he does it in all of his movies, but in this one, it just didn't grab me. Like, the camera spends a lot of time moving from left to right. Like, you know, we're going across the campgrounds and even in the house, it's just like we're constantly panning from left to right the whole time. So to me, it feels like we're watching a play. Like, I'm on the other side of the camera the whole time. I'm not ever in it or in the action. Like, I'm watching it, and I don't feel like I'm a part of the story. I feel like someone watching it. And so it's just, I don't know. I feel like in Budapest, in Fantastic Mr. Fox, I feel like I'm in it. And that's what I want. That's what I want from any movie. I want to be immersed in the story and feel like I'm a part of it. So I care about the stakes and I care about the characters. But I just don't really care about any of the characters that much. So I just feel like I'm watching this, like, study in, like, cinematography almost.
I see.
What did you think?
I didn't like it as much.
Ooh. Why not?
The plot thickens. Honestly, it's because of Grand Budapest Hotel.
There you go.
It's not fair to say, but just if you compare the two, it just lacks a lot of luster comparably.
That's what I'm saying.
I know. It's really not fair. And it was already, like I said in my first impression, not as good as Fantastic Mr. Fox. Mm-hmm. So now you have two against it, and it's like, yeah. It just doesn't as much. Although it's not because of the style, how it's stylized. I feel like it's maybe just as stylized as the others. If it's any more, then it's just like barely so. Mm-hmm. I think it's probably more just because the story isn't as strong. So you're not, I think you're just not as immersed in the story. So the like nice shots.
I'm noticing the style more because I'm not invested in the story. Like, if I was, I wouldn't pay as much attention to it.
Yeah. So I think if you watch Fantastic Mr. Fox and don't pay attention, it's I would say probably just as much. Because I can think of all the moments. There's even similar scenes of like when he pulls way out and you see like it looks like 2D display. That's in Fantastic Mr. Fox. And then all of the just going from side to side.
Yeah.
But it's the story just kind of goes all over the place. It takes weird turns.
Yeah.
Like him being an orphan becomes this really big point, but only halfway through. And then that becomes like the main antagonist of the story too. Social Security. But kind of out of nowhere. I don't know. It just lacks some structure for me. Because I enjoy their like innocent little love story, but just overall, the structure of it seems kind of all over the place for me. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't really just follow it. Which his stories always kind of do that, but this one I'd say even more so.
Yeah. But also, I didn't enjoy the kids.
There you go.
I think they're cute and they're funny, and I truly do appreciate that they're very intelligent. I like that a lot. Like, they both know sort of their own worlds very well. But
they're too monotone for you?
It's monotone. And so it doesn't help the kids that they're surrounded by incredible actors. You know, Bruce Willis, Ed Norton, Bill Murray. Everyone is so good in the movie. And I just think the kids can't quite pull off Wes's dialogue as well as the adults can. Which is unfair to compare, but I just don't think they pull it off even on sort of their own kid actor standard. Like, his dialogue, or I should say their dialogue because he co-wrote it. But their dialogue, or I guess Wes's dialogue in general it's really precise. And I just feel like you really have to like grasp the nuance of it or it just kind of gets lost in a performance. Like you can always sort of understand like how the kids are supposed to sound, but to me it always just seemed like kid actors trying their best. And so again, they're like the main part of the story, and I'm just like not invested in them because to me it's just like, oh, kids doing their best.
Well, see, I still think they pull off what Wes put in front of them well. Like, I think that's how they were supposed to perform it. This monotone and just kind of dry, like, this is how we are. They're not supposed to be bubbly or anything. That's just how they are. But I do agree with you on the point of you have these this superstar cast of actors, and so they do lackluster comparably. I've said that too many times this episode. I'll find a better adjective. But yeah, they really are surrounded by such great actors, and so it is hard being new actors in here, even if you are really good.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'd say they're good, and I just enjoyed like them. I don't know. I just thought it was innocent and cute, even though it wasn't completely innocent as well, which is the weird part. But
yeah. But I mean, the adults, like, they do emote more, sure. But I feel like even in the sort of monotone moments that they have, there's just something about the way that they embody those characters. I believe every word that comes out of Edward Norton's mouth. Like when he's talking to the tape recorder by himself, you know, he's like carrying a scene on his own, and it's just because he's so good. It's like this combination of both great dialogue, great context, and a great character. And in this, I feel like you have context, dialogue, but the strength of that third prong is just not strong enough.
Oh, can I just mention how much I loved that he has a Scoutmaster log?
Yes. It's awesome.
Like, that doesn't feel like a requirement as a Boy Scout, Khaki Scout, whatever leader at all. And I feel like he just does it.
Yeah. It's awesome. And I love when he's like, when he comes back to the kids, he's like, you know what? I'm going to change my answer. I'm a Boy Scout, whatever, first. And I teach math on the side. I love that.
It's awesome.
It's so funny.
I love everything about their Boy Scout, their Khaki Scout camp. Sorry.
Yeah. I feel like even the other Boy Scouts are better at acting. Like, the lines that they deliver are better than the line the main kid does.
Oh. So sad.
But not terrible. I still want to emphasize, I don't think the movie is bad. I really don't. It's just Wes is a great director, and he's got so much other better work to compare it to. And even these kid actors aren't the worst kid actors that you've ever seen. Like, they're good. They just had a really hard task.
Oh, but I feel like that's so much of what I loved the first time around.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know. They weren't like the normal kid actors. They were just kind of I think I liked that they were monotone and dry the whole time. I think it did stick out more that it's not. I definitely didn't love it as much as the first time I saw it. Mm-hmm. But I still think I enjoyed it more than you did.
Maybe you did. Do you want to talk about, it sounded like maybe you did, the really awkward moments where it gets kind of weird?
We can. It does get pretty awkward.
And I don't know how I feel about it. It's like, I feel like it's intentional.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's necessary. And it just is so strange to me. Like the moment when they're on the beach together and they're not wearing any clothes.
The awkward moment. The one awkward moment.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah. And
maybe it's supposed to be. It's innocently weird and they're kids, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. It's
a step too far for me, I guess.
Yeah, I've always found that part extravagantly weird. And I never knew, even when I first saw it, I didn't know how I felt about it. It was just this is kind of weird to be in here. Yeah. I certainly think it's intentional. Even the way they approach it. It seems like they're just acting like adults rather than actually wanting to do these things. Mm-hmm. But still, even knowing that that's the case and they're just wanting to do all these grown-up things even though they're still kids. I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Just weird. And I think the movie would have been just fine without it as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even if they still woke up in the tent together and that unfolds the same way, I feel like that's even enough. Yeah. You can even leave that part in and it would be fine.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm sure there are people that love this movie and love that part of it, you know?
Oh, that one scene?
Or love that element of the movie. That weird, strange, awkward attempt at being adult, you know? That adds to it for them, I guess, maybe, but it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, sure. All right. Wherever those people in the world are. Tweet at us. Let us know if you're one out of them.
Yeah. I do love when the main kid is dancing, because it's hilarious.
Was it hilarious?
Yes, his like really weird shimmy thing is great. I liked that a lot.
See, there's just so many aspects of their awkwardness I did love. Like when he first meets her in the like playroom, when he sticks his head through and they just kind of like talk back and forth.
Yeah.
And he even has to clarify he's talking to, I don't know. There's something I really enjoy about their awkwardness that you clearly did not like.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't believe it. I believe like it just to me feels like they're performing it like that and not really like that, you know? I want to get lost in a character and not, but I couldn't. I couldn't stop thinking of them as kid actors.
And then I just want to get lost. Yeah. That's fair. You have a point. Oh, well. It did. I know we mentioned the Grand Budapest Hotel slightly. Totes just made me want to go watch it. That's really what this movie did.
Yeah, I want to see that.
It kind of made me feel bad. That's how I knew I didn't like this movie as much, when it just made me want to go watch another movie.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man. Which I don't even remember. Like, I enjoyed the Grand Budapest Hotel, but I don't remember, like, loving it. But for some reason, I was, like, really drawn to it and want to watch it again. It's weird.
I loved it. For sure.
I know you did. I really want to watch it again. Real bad.
Yeah. Maybe we could just do that one next week, right?
Yeah. Let's just do it next week. No.
That'd be fun. We can save it. Wes has a new movie coming out next year. We'll save it for that one.
We'll save it.
Any other thoughts, or should I read the poll?
No, not really.
All right. Here's the poll. You ready?
Ready.
Alternate titles for Moonrise Kingdom. So I'm going to read them out, and then I want you to guess which one won before I give you the results. Okay?
All right.
Number 1, Seaside Castle. That's that one.
Okay.
Number 2, Khaki Scout's Honor.
Well, Khaki Scout's Honor. Okay.
Number 3, Susie and Sam's Day Off. and number 4, Kanye Wes Anderson.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I couldn't think of a fourth, so I just did that one.
And that one won.
No. Incorrect.
My actual guess would have been Khaki Scout's Honor.
Yeah, that's my favorite one. But it did not win either.
Really? That was like, when you said that one, I was like, oh, that one.
Right? I liked that one a lot,
right.
But no, it didn't win.
Well, then I am out.
Seaside Castle won with 36% of the vote.
All right.
Yeah. And Khaki Scout's Honor was second with 27%.
I would have voted for that one.
Yeah, me too. I really like that one. I think it should have been called that. Oh, man. All right. Thanks for voting, everybody. Keep your eyes out. I'm going to do more of those polls in the future.
Thanks for the votes.
All right. Topic time?
Topic time.
Today we're talking about Wes Anderson, the writer and director. And I guess producer.
The one and only.
And I've also always heard rumors that, like, Wes is very involved in every element, even, like, wardrobe and set dressing and stuff like that. But I always fear, like, spreading that rumor around because I feel like it's unfair to the people that actually do that stuff, like wardrobe and set design, like real people who work really hard to make the movies look as good as they do. But
real people.
He's not a real guy. But anyways,
no, but he could still, especially as the director, still just like have his hand in it.
Yeah.
I mean, just like I'm sure he does in editing and lights and camera and everything, cinematography. Mm-hmm. Just obviously that's not his main focus.
Yeah, but even like I got the script. I have the PDF of, I think, Budapest Hotel, because it was kind of getting floated around the internet when it was up for Oscars and stuff. And like the script for Budapest was like decked out with all these beautiful things. Like the title page had this gorgeous image from the movie on it and all this stuff. And as you scrolled through the pages, unlike most screenplays, it had like images and little like patterns and stuff, and it looked great. And it was like, of course, Wes Anderson's script looks like one of his movies.
Of course.
So, should we discuss which movies we've actually seen?
Yeah, sure.
Because neither of us have seen all of them.
You've seen all of them?
No. Neither of us have.
Oh, no.
So let's start with Bottle Rocket in 96. Have you seen that?
Nope.
I've always wanted to. I need to check it out. I haven't seen it. I also haven't seen Rushmore, which I've been told so many times to see. Still haven't seen it.
Yep, haven't seen it either.
The Royal Tenenbaums.
Yep, I have seen it.
That's a yes for me as well. The Life Aquatic with...
Nope.
Yeah, so haven't seen that one either. It's on Netflix, though, and I could just hit play, you know? That's all I got to do.
Someone said they really enjoyed that one.
I've heard both. I've heard that it's like maybe one of his weakest, but I've also heard people that really liked it. So just got to find out for myself, I guess.
Yeah.
The Darjeeling Limited.
Nope.
I've seen that. Well, I fell asleep. I fell asleep during it. I've seen most of it. Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yes. Of course.
Although I watched that for the first time with you in college, and it was one of those nights I was very tired. So I'm pretty sure that I missed like maybe 5 minutes of it total, like spread out throughout the movie. Like it was kind of that dozing thing back and forth. So
I bet if we went back and watched it, you wouldn't have remembered any of it.
I remember cussing because it's very funny.
Yeah.
Moonrise Kingdom. Obviously.
Yep.
And The Grand Budapest Hotel is his last feature film.
Yep.
But he has done have you seen that really weird, was it like a Gap commercial that he did or something?
No.
It's like a short film that is a commercial for a clothing store.
Interesting.
And it's cool and everything. It's just as Wessy as you would want it to be, but it's ultimately just still a commercial.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
Interesting.
Yep. So we've seen the bulk, right? Let's dive into a favorite. I feel like we probably made that clear already, but maybe for you, I don't know. Is it Fantastic Mr. Fox or is it Budapest?
Yeah, you don't even know.
I don't know. Probably Fox.
It was Fox for so long. I really want to watch Grand Budapest Hotel. I think it might trump it.
Yeah.
I remember despite my initial feelings, just like thinking back on it now, I was like, man, that really was a good movie. And I want to watch it again because I truly think it will become my favorite. And I watched Fantastic Mr. Fox recently, and it's not as rewatchable, sadly. My family loves it, and it's still really, really good, but I don't know. I didn't laugh as much.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It's kind of, I've seen it enough times that it's like, no.
I really want to see it again. I need to rewatch it.
It's still fantastic, as the title implies. And I'd still watch it again. It's just not... It wasn't as good as when I first watched it. Like, it didn't keep the same. Or the first few times, because I've watched it multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still great. And it still is hilarious, even if it's not as funny. So I think it might be Grand Budapest. It might have taken the spot.
Yeah, it's a great one.
We'll see in the rewatch.
I would say that Grand Budapest is my favorite as well. I haven't seen Royal Tenenbaums in a long time, like in full. I've seen so many clips of it for whatever reason over the years, but haven't rewatched the entire thing all the way through in a long time. But Grand Budapest came out when I was working at the movie theater, and I saw it so many times. I would go see it on breaks and just watch the whole thing, and I would if I knew I had to clean out a viewing of Grand Budapest, then as soon as I was done with all of my other tasks, I would just go in and wait for it to finish and then clean up. Because it's great. Awesome. I really like that one.
Well, good.
I like it. I think I like it because it's, if I remember correctly, it's a story that's being told to someone in the hotel. But the story that's being told is being read about in a book, right? It's got all these layers. Like this girl is reading a book on a bench, and in the book, a character is telling another character the story of the Grand Budapest Hotel.
That might be true.
I think that's correct. Also,
isn't the character telling the story also the main character, just much older?
Yes. I think so.
I feel like you're just saying yes, but you don't really.
No, that sounds right as well. Ralph Fiennes is telling the bellboy the story, right? Or they're like discussing it or
No,
something.
no. I think the bellboy is telling someone else the story.
Yes,
he's just
telling
much older.
Jude Law the story.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But so anyways, semantics aside, with every one of those layers of storytelling, the aspect ratio changes, I think. Like the character who's walking onto the bench to read the book is in full frame, and then it's like a box frame for the rest of the movie when they're like deep into the layers of the story. So it just to me felt like Wes is using all of his sort of stylistic choices more intentionally. Like each layer is a little different stylistically. So to me it made like it was like not finally because I've never really been too bothered by it, but he's using all of his great sort of stylistic choices in a way that's more integrated with the story.
I would have never caught that if you hadn't said it, so good for you, film major.
There's moments of black and white when there needs to be, like, to distinguish itself from the rest of the movie. The aspect ratio changes and all that kind of stuff was, like, so cool. I really appreciated all that stuff.
Out of all the ones we've seen, which one do you think has the highest Rotten Tomatoes score? Unless you already know, then this is a boring question.
I don't know. I mean, I would guess it's either Moonrise or Budapest.
It is Moonrise.
Golly, come on.
Budapest is
That's disappointing.
tied with Fantastic Mr. Fox.
What do they have?
92.
Come on.
Moonrise is 94.
Okay.
Although I think Budapest probably has more reviews, so just factor that in.
Yeah.
Then you can feel better about yourself. I really enjoy all of his movies, though. It's been so long. I haven't seen Royal Tenenbaums since I was in middle school, but I genuinely remember not liking it that much.
Mm.
And aside from that, I have enjoyed the other 3 movies of his that I've seen, and would be interested to see pretty much all of them.
Yeah, I want to go.
Whether or not they have good ratings or not. I really do love. I don't remember if the Royal Tenenbaums is as stylized as the other ones, but I really enjoy how stylistic they are. It really just does put its own feel into it. Because even Moonrise, which you say it feels over stylized, you still like, but it's still a great movie, and you still love that about it.
Yeah, I think early on, before like when I'd only seen like maybe 1 or 2 of his movies, to me it felt like distracting because I couldn't help but notice all of those things. But as he's sort of like cemented it as his style, and that's what he likes to do, and I think as he sort of like gets a better handle on how he can utilize his style, I've just become more and more appreciative of his style. I had to like get over it, and that's definitely like a personal thing. But although I know I've talked to plenty of people who flat out don't like Wes Anderson because it's distracting, because they can't get into it.
Yeah,
and I get that. I understand that.
It just feels like such a break from other movies that all seem so similar and are filmed so similarly.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's why I enjoy it. So you're gonna see his next movie when it comes out?
Yeah. Do you know anything about his next movie?
Nope.
It's Isle of Isle of Dogs. And it's an animated film. Another stop motion animated, I believe.
I already like where this is going.
It's got like, your standard people, plus Bryan Cranston is new to this mix, I believe.
Nice.
So, but it's everybody else. Like Tilda Swinton, Jeff Goldblum, Bill Murray, Edward Norton. They're all back. So it looks great, and it's coming out in March.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Does it have a specific date? March
23rd.
All right.
Also, it has some. Man, I don't want to get this wrong, but there's a teaser poster, and it looks like either Chinese or Japanese letters on it. I could not tell you which one is which. Are they the same? Is that what you're gonna say?
Kanji is across both.
Okay, maybe it's kanji. I don't know.
Like,
oh, it's set in Japan.
They're not this.
It's set in Japan. I just read that.
There you go.
So it's.
They're not the same, but they use the same symbols, but they don't always mean the same thing.
Okay.
And then, who cares? This is a movie review podcast.
Good point. Awesome. Yeah, so there you go. It's a movie. Let's see. It says, set in Japan, Isle of Dogs follows a boy's odyssey in search of his dog, Rex.
Nice.
Great.
Well, set in Japan, animated, on board, me, gonna see it.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Oh, Wes, you're such a good filmmaker.
Mm-hmm.
He's wunderbar.
Yes. Yes, I concur.
Do you concur? I don't know how many times that joke's been made on this podcast.
It's been a while, though.
I know. That's why I felt safe doing it.
That's fine.
Well, I think that's it.
I think so.
Sweet.
Let's wrap this up. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We appreciate it, as always. It'd be great if you could share this podcast with a friend. If you want to support the podcast, keep us going. Let us get in the front of more listeners. That'd be awesome. You could leave us a review in iTunes, which would be nice. And tune in next week for Gladiator.
Gladiator.
Right? Excited about that episode. Tune in next week. It'll be a good one. And yeah, thanks for listening. You're great. And so is Wes Anderson.
You're great. See y'all next week.
See ya.